Last week, we started to touch on the crucial topic of code clarity in SwiftUI. Matter of trailing closures and writing clear documented code need more attention. Hence, today we are going to take a deep dive into trailing closures and how they can be a mess in complex apps. In this episode, we'll learn how to fix them and make code more readable. If writing clean and documented code is your goal, you should join me on this journey. Hi, welcome back. So this is the app that we will be exploring in this episode. It has two screens, sign up and login, and which has a few home fields and the sign up button and all these social logins button. Mostly this app is bare bone just a view. It doesn't sign you up for anything or do any functionality. The goal for this tutorial is to see how complex the code can be and how we can break it apart, make it more readable. If you see here, we have sign up code. Okay, much better. So if you see this section over here, it is this toggle. If you go a little bit down, you will see that this section, the login screen, says since there are two states, as we toggle the switch left and right, this will be when toggle is on is login, and if toggle is off, then it will be the sign up screen. Underneath that, we have this or section right here, so which has basically these two lines and the text or and the rectangle, and at the bottom we have this socials. So we'll start making this more readable by extracting the stuff out and putting it back. In order to do that, what we have to do is we have to start with these bigger logins, create a new group called views, and I'll start taking this code out. And instead of this body, we'll just paste that text. Since it uses some of the state variables, so we have to bring those state variables here. And here what we can do is we can call login view. We can ignore all these errors. Now I'll take this out. As you can see that we moved out those two views and it's much smaller. Earlier it was so long. View, our view and output has not changed a bit. Also, we can take this out, and that would be the view over here consists of this. So that's HStack. So this is the OR divider view. Now we can go back to here, take this whole thing out and just call it OR divider view. Now the last piece would be this, extracting this view out, which is basically right here. So if you try to resume it, you should be able to see this social login right here. And we're using a couple of modifiers here, which I'll explain in a bit. If we go back and instead of this, call it social login view. As you're noticing, we have extracted so many views out for sake of clarity, and nothing is changed. Now the important part start from here, that will start tackling those trailing closures since we have reduced down the complexity in this view so much. Just will take a quick look at the initialization, and if we see that we have this initializer which have alignment, spacing and content, and these have a default values, spacing and alignment, so we can just directly take only the content. So that is what we're going to do, and let's start doing content, and it's ending here. So we're going to do the same for this HStack too. So this HStack is here, this HStack is here. So we'll take care of this one first, And since it already have a spacing, we know there is content, so we can start with the content and move this parenthesis here, taking care of this one right here, and doing the same with this one, content, and we can move this one here, taking care of it. So I'll fast forward so you're not looking the screen, because I'm going to do the same thing over and over again. So I'll just fast forward. So quickly, if you want, you can just pause the video and quickly follow what I'm doing. So this will take care of the login view. Since we cannot see our view properly here, I'll put few of the modifiers here. Preview layout dot size that fit, and second is preferred color scheme in the dark, and let's resume it. And if you want a little bit, we can add a padding around it so you can see it clearly. Maybe I think we need a more padding in the bottom, so you can have another padding that is just specific to the bottom. So nice looking view for a sign up view, and then we'll go from there once we simplify that view also. Now finally, this outermost VStack. I'm going to do the same little bit over here. So this takes care of almost all the HStack, VStacks, and ZStacks. Now we're going to bring same clarity to the button. As you can see that we have this trailing closure over here. So let me bring up the Apple documentation. So if we come to the buttons documentation and scroll down to the initializations, you will see that first argument is action, a closure that don't receive anything and don't return anything. But this one is don't take any parameters but returns a label, and label is also a view. This trailing closure is basically the label. Add the label and move this one to end of it. Let's go back and see the content view. To no one's surprise, this view has not changed a bit. We have reduced down its complexity, broken down into 4 different files, and nothing has changed. Now you are fully equipped with the knowledge of full signatured init methods. With help of these, you would be able to enhance the code. If this content is helpful, don't forget to like. Stay tuned until next time, where we explore more real-life use case of using Swift and SwiftUI. Please subscribe and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Thank you. See you next time.